Hi, welcome back to a second vlog, the February vlog. 20 people watched the first one, which might seem a bit ridiculous, but it made me really happy. I've only shared it with my really close friends. And yeah, it just made me really happy to make it, so I just made a second one. I haven't really had time to improve my editing skills this month because it was so busy. It was really an exhausting month in terms of work, but also because I had to go back home for 2 weeks out of the whole month to see my dad, who got a knee replacement surgery. So I spent 2 full weeks in the south of France. We kind of alternated with my brother. So he came for a bit for when he got the surgery, then I went to get him out of the hospital and care for him the first week, then he came back, and then I came back. It was quite draining, I have to be honest, physically and emotionally, because my mother takes care of her mother, who's very old, most of the time, and so my dad was fully incapacitated, like he couldn't walk for the first few weeks, and so he needed like basically a full-time carer, but I was also working from home at the same time, so it was a lot. And I think also, you know, when that dynamic kind of switches and you go from being a kid who's being taken care of to being the kid who's taking care of your parents, I don't know, I think psychologically it can be a little hard, at least it is for me, because in the past few years that dynamic has really changed. But yeah, you will see there's a lot of food content in this vlog because I cooked also a lot for him, and I tried I tried to make really nourishing food for him to recover as fast as possible as well. And yeah, so you will see some content from home. What else happened? It was Cam's birthday, so you will see some content from that as well. And for his birthday, so the week that I was here back in the UK, we had a little like 3 days break because I took him to the countryside for his birthday / Valentine's Day / our 1 year anniversary that is in April, but the place in the countryside was so expensive that I decided to just make it a group present, like a grouped, as in like three events in one present, because I'm not going to be doing that again anytime soon. But it was really lovely. We went to Hampshire. You will see some footage from that as well. And there was a flood the day before, so it was very wet, but we had a really good time. And yeah, I think, oh, and I forget one thing. I also, when I came back, so on my way back to London from Nice, I stopped in Paris for the christening of my best friend's from university's son. So I became a godmother, which is very exciting. I didn't really video any of it because obviously it was very personal and, you know, very intimate. And there are loads of babies and kids, and I didn't want to film them for obvious reasons. But yeah, you will see a bit of that as well. And yeah, I hope you will enjoy this vlog. It's made with love, and it's not that much better than the first one in terms of editing, as I said before, because I didn't have time to do and learn anything. But I don't know, the fact that it's a bit kitsch and it's made like from iMovie and it's just a bit basic, I quite like. I don't know, I think like we're in a bit of a mood, or at least I am, to go back to like raw, barely edited content. Obviously I'm always really impressed with people who have like crazy editing skills, and I do think I should get a lot better at it, but I think this is cute too, no? So anyway, enjoy, bye! This is the result of my tufting workshop that you saw in the previous vlog. Little olives on a stick, so cute! And then this is me just hanging out in the gym while Cam is lifting weights. And then I had to go to Brussels again. This says Amsterdam, but I actually went to Brussels for work again. And I wanted to show you what the business class in the Eurostar is like. So this was a 6 a.m. train. So they give you a little breakfast. I arrived at 9 a.m. in the European quarter. I had to rush to work. This is the European Commission with all the European flags. And yeah, this is in the streets of the European quarters. You know what that is. This is breakfast. I'm working from home, so I actually had time to make breakfast. We have steamed broccolini, kimchi, and steamed egg with soy sauce and seeds, like sesame seeds and some other types of seeds. Or like a mix. And yeah, and I'm gonna make some coffee. So in the morning I take 3 things. I take probiotics, an iron pill, and a multivitamin made for women, young women. So it's a lot of iron, but even with those 2 combined, I'm still iron deficient. So yeah, quite easy, nothing crazy, but that's what works for me. I haven't really gotten sick this... Oh, and I take a spray of vitamin D as well every morning. And my thyroid pill, but my thyroid pill is prescribed medicine, so... I cut the sound there because it was really terrible, but this is an outfit check. I was going out for dinner with Cam for his birthday. I asked him out, and yeah, I really loved the bag and the little boot situation. I hope you like it. I wish I had time to do more makeup than this, because the natural girl makeup just doesn't suit me very well. I look better with more makeup when I go out, or no makeup, you know what I mean? But, and also my hair, I just had time to wash it and blow dry it, but not well enough for it to look good. And also I usually have quite curly hair, so it just looks, but it's okay. So I didn't film everything that we ate because I was enjoying the moment and I forgot. But we went to Cannes in Exmouth Market and the food was really delicious. Here you can see a steak that Cam ate. I don't eat red meat, but everything was really good. And then we walked home and he was carrying my bag. The next day we went to celebrate Cam's birthday with his friends. We went to a curry place on Brick Lane. I think it was called Shiba. It was bring your own booze. We had a really good time. As you can see, we were all wearing little party hats. I think he had fun, and I was really feeling myself in the bathroom, clearly. The next morning I flew home. As you can see, there was a lot of wind. I tried to take the train as much as possible, but as I told you, it was a bit of an emergency. So this time I flew and I took a video of these 2 cute pigeons that were stuck in the tram. I tried to help them out, but it was really hard. I didn't manage. And this is my little baby, Truff. I was so happy to see her again. Oh, look how pretty she is. Coucou mon petit chien. How am I supposed to sleep? This is clearly her bed. The following clips are what I cooked in a day for my dad the day after he came home from the hospital from his knee replacement. He lost a lot of blood during the operation, so he was lacking a lot of iron, and also he needed obviously proteins to recover and a lot of fiber, because after an operation you need to go to the bathroom to get rid of the anesthesia products and stuff like that. I'm not gonna lie, it was a bit difficult because, well, obviously my dad's from a different generation where, like, you know, they believe that to recover you need to eat a lot of meat, and like you'll see there's like liver and things like that, whereas I'm more plant-based. But he still ate what I made. He just complemented with meat. And also he has a very strong sweet tooth, And in the morning, for example, like he needs to have a very sweet breakfast. And sweet and fiber is a bit hard because for him it's like a pain au chocolat dipped in his coffee, you know? His ideal breakfast. So I tried my best and I think we worked it out. This is one day out of the many days I cooked for him. I hope it's interesting and it gives you maybe like some inspiration. It's not very aesthetically pleasing, that's all I will say, but it's very nutritious. So yeah, sweet breakfast, full fat yogurt with some speculoos on top for the sweetness, some oats, some apple compote, a clementine and his coffee. Then for lunch I made a lentil dal with some spinach, and he had his liver on the side because he really wanted it. And I made loads of little salads, so fennel with clementine sauce, cucumber salad with sesame seeds, and some cute little radishes. I bought my dad coffee from the Algerian coffee stores in London, and I wish you could smell it. It smells so delicious. We're going to try it now. The color of the grain, like I don't know how to explain. If you see, this is from the Algerian coffee store, and like this is like store-bought coffee. Can you see the difference? Here it is. I also made him a little plate of dried prunes. Actually, I don't know how you call those in English. This is the same thing as for raisins, where you call dried grapes raisins, and raisin is the word for grape in French. So prune is the word for plums in French, so I'm guessing these are prunes, if the same logic applies. Anyway, this is for fiber intake. Let's see what he says.
J'aime bien.
And then for dinner, he wanted chicken, so I made avgolemono, which is a Greek lemony chicken soup with loads of vegetables, super nutritious. Just chilling on the couch with my bestie. Then my mom and I traveled to Paris for the baptism of my godson, but we also did a few cultural things. So we went to Beaubourg, the museum, to see the exhibition of the painter Suzanne Valandon. It was not necessarily my style, but it was very interesting, and I was happy to go to Beaubourg before it closes. And then we went to get blow dries for the baptism. So my mom's blow dry was a bit fluffy and a bit outdated, but the next day it looked really good. How cute is she? We walked through Montparnasse and I had to take a little video because Simone de Beauvoir lived there. But the star of the weekend was, apart from the baptism, was that we went to the Fondation Cartier to go see the exhibition from Olga de Amaral, who's a Colombian fiber art artist. And I was absolutely blown away. I had never seen such an exhibition before. I don't know much about fiber art and tapestry. As you can see, like it was loads of her tapestry that she made over the past 50 years. She's still alive. She's like 93. And it was the most incredible exhibition. I highly, highly, highly recommend. It felt like I was in another world. Really incredible. I obviously didn't film anything from the baptism, but this is my little godson and I in the Eurostar on our way back to London. He's sucking on my scarf and he's really the cutest. It's Monday morning and we're doing everything I eat in a day in the office. So thankfully I am alone today in the office once again. So I was planning on going to like the eating area of the building to eat those, but because no one's here, I can just eat them here. I boiled myself 2 eggs and I made a little seasoning pack with salt, pepper, and bagel seasoning. And then a coffee with a little bit of oat milk, a tall glass of water, and the usual multivitamin, probiotic, and my iron pill. I will spare you the peeling of the egg situation that's about to happen. It's good with the bagel seasoning. And it's not too cooked. It's a little bit jammy, so I'm still a bit hungry, so I brought some just almonds. I'm really not made for this. So for our lunch break, we have a delicious stew. It's like potatoes, carrots, celery, onions, red beans, tomato, all like simmered with loads of spices, fennel, really good. That I've had last night for dinner, sorry. And a little bowl of kimchi from the Korean shop, and catching up on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So I have a not very nice meeting coming up, so I'm gonna have a little sugar break. So I have this peanut butter and milk chocolate date. That's the last one. These are so good. And one Jammy Dodgers, I think they're called. I call them Jelly Rogers, but that's not their name at all. But yeah, you know what they are. And then I have second coffee of the day. It's a latte. Really, I didn't finish the first one, so it's really I drink like a coffee and a half a day, max two. I try to stick to one, but I need a little pick me up. So yeah, cheers. We went to go see Richard II with one of my best friends from uni. It was at the Bridge Theatre. I had never been before, and I really enjoyed the scenography and the place. The play in itself was interesting. I mean, it's a classical Shakespeare play, so nothing unexpected, but the cast was really good. It has Jonathan Bailey in it. You'll see him bow in a few minutes or a few seconds, but the rest of the cast was really just as great as him. And it was also really funny because Andrew Garfield was in the audience with his new girlfriend, and he's like my teenage crush, so it was very weird to see him in real life. New setup. I'm in the stairs. I really need to find a better way to shoot those. Maybe I should buy those little like sticky things that all the influencers have, even though I'm not an influencer. I feel like my lip liner is a bit too aggressive. Doesn't matter. So I wanted to talk about 3 beauty things that I loved in February. So I don't want to not that anyone is watching this, but I'm trying not to buy and consume too many beauty things, because I used to be quite addicted to it when I was in my early 20s, and now I'm trying to not over consume. So I wanted to talk about this amazing cream that, as you can see, I have drained of everything it contained, from this German brand called Herbar, like this, and the face oil. I've tried the serum as well, but I didn't like it as much. I thought these 2 products were really incredible though. So this is a really thick hydrating face cream. So the whole ethos of the brand is that it's inspired by mushrooms. So they all have loads of different mushrooms in them that are antioxidants, blah blah. I'm not gonna go into it. You go on their website, because obviously not a skincare expert. But I do have very, very dry skin, and this saved my skin all winter. Really beautiful cream. If you like really fragrancy, luxurious, like big brands smells kind of cream, this is not for you. This and this neither. It smells like the earth, like soil, but I love it and it works really well. And the face oil is also beautiful. I use it to massage my face and as like a kind of barrier before I go to bed. And the two of them, like, you can see how much I've used in transparency, and this I finished. It saves my skin this winter. And it's a small female-owned brand as well, so. And then the third and last thing is my friend gifted me this, and it's a hair mask from Amika Soulfood Nourishing Mask. And I've done a lot of hair masks in my life. Same thing, got very dry skin, very dry hair as well. And this has really been one of the best masks I've ever tried. And I also love the packaging, it's so cute. Here were my beauty favorites from February, in case you asked. So books I've read in February, I've only actually read 2 books, which is quite sad for me. February was very intense in terms of workload. So I didn't have much time to, because I read so much for work in terms of news, and like when I come home, I sometimes want, if I've had a really long day, either I want to like stay in the dark and everyone to leave me alone, or I want to watch shit on TV. So I haven't had time to read that much, but the 2 books I read were quite good. So I'll start with Orbital, which is the Booker Prize from 2024. So it talks about, let me gather my thoughts. It talks about astronauts / cosmonauts, because Russian astronauts are called cosmonauts, that are in a space station orbiting around Earth. One thing that I thought was super clever is that the book starts with this, which is the orbits. So you can kind of follow them, because every chapter is like, they tell you on which orbit they are and if they're ascending or descending. So you can see, like, you can imagine what they see. They also tell you what they see from outside, like which part of the earth they're seeing. But every time, like every new chapter, I would go back and be like, oh, okay, so they're here now. And that I thought was really cool. Then I also love the cover, by the way. And I thought it was a very interesting book. It reflects on a lot of on the human condition from space, and on wars and loves. And one of the astronauts has her mom passes away while they're in orbit, so obviously, and death, and like also just geopolitical events and how everything seen from space doesn't make much sense. So it's quite a philosophical book. I do think it could have been longer, and we could have explored the characters more and gone more into their story than just like a more like philosophical, like view from the space, what I just said. I thought we could go more into the characters and their lives, and because I like stories that are centered around people. I don't know if I'm making any sense now. I should have prepared this before. But I thought it was very interesting, and I would recommend reading it. And also through this book, I found out, and maybe it's stupid and I should have known, like I should have thought about it way earlier than this, but there are loads of debris, like waste, made like human made, as in like little pieces of space stations, like paint flecks, things like that are in orbit around the Earth, but like really a huge amount. Like Google it, it's actually quite crazy, and they're like orbiting in a really high speed around the Earth. So I'm like, we're even like putting garbage in space, like how insane is that? So yeah, it makes you think a lot, and I think that's what books should be doing. And then my boyfriend actually gifted me this. It's a new book by Eliza Clark. If you haven't read Boy Parts, which is the book before that, it's not at all a series, but it's a book that she wrote before. You should, because it's really good. But this is called She's Always Hungry, and it's a collection of short stories. And that I loved. It was such a good book. Her stories are crazy and so animalistic, like so like, I don't know, you can taste them. I don't know how to explain. So they are all quite trauma-inducing. That's why there's a content guide at the end, because they tell you what each story is about, kind of, so you know that, like, if you have an ED, for example, maybe don't read this one, or if you're like skin picking a lot, don't read this one. There's one about picking that I really liked. I think it was one of my favorite from the book. It was great, and I also really love short stories. It kind of rekindled my love for short stories. I also write short stories, but I forgot how much I loved reading them. And it was really nice because at night, like, sometimes I would read one out loud to Cam, and then the next day or a few days later he'd read one out loud to me, and it'd take like maybe like 20-30 minutes, and it would make us fall asleep, and you know, we could reflect on it and talk about it later. It's really nice. Highly recommend. And that's it, and I'm hoping to read more in March. Fingers crossed I'll have more time. Say hello to Miss Luna. This is Cam's family's dog. She's a Labradoodle. She's so sweet. Cam's family lives in southeast London, so we stopped there to borrow the car. And then we went away for the weekend. We stopped in Winchester Cathedral, which was absolutely beautiful. I highly recommend. And then we went to Hampshire for 2 nights. I took Cam away, as I said in the beginning of this video, for his birthday / Valentine's Day / anniversary. It was very peaceful. We relaxed a lot, went for forest walks. Unfortunately, it had rained a lot the day before, so as you can see, it was very muddy, and as city people, we were really not prepared for it. But yeah, we made it, and then eventually the sun came out as well. And we also spent some time in the hotel garden. They had like loads of things that they were growing, and also some bees, which was very nice. They had really good honey as well that they made themselves. Okay, so we're doing a little spa afternoon in the hotel. So we're gonna start with a scalp oil and massage our scalp. Leave it for a bit while we put also a hair mask on, and then we're going to double cleanse and then exfoliate. Oh, and in the shower also exfoliate our body with this face scrub that should not be allowed to be used for the face because it's way too aggressive. Because it's got little grains in it. Like, you're not supposed, it's so aggressive. That's how people irritate their skin. Oh, look at it. Yeah, it does. I'm sure it does. Does it? Does it have greens in it?
We'll see. It's got like a plastic thing in the way.
Oh. Does it have greens?
A little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Only little.
Yeah, but it's still irritating. Then we're going to exfoliate chemically, much less aggressive. Face masks, vitamin C serum, moisturizer 1, Cicaplast, moisturizer 2, and seal it all with skin food. Are you ready? After the chill weekend away, I had to go back to the office for a bit, and then I went back home to see my dad again after my brother left. And this is my cute little truffle in the sun. She's solar powered, as you can see. And I also had some time to see my grandmother. She's the only grandparent that I have left, so I really cherish my moments with her. And that's the end of the month. Thank you for watching.